Hey, we did it, kids. I don't think anybody's here. The Twitch button
Some
isn't
people.
working. Streambot. Oh, hey, games with DJ. How's it going, buddy? Uh, and let's see then. Oh, the camera's like he's just out of shot. We gotta fix this. There we go. There we go. We made it better now. We made it infinitely better. All right. Oh, hey, Marmalade. Batch was flossing. Normally you could change the colors of the lights. You cannot do that today. Hey, Captain Knuckles, your email's in this, by the way. So, for those of you who are unaware, I'm Thatch. I mean, you should all be aware of that. But what I am doing here is something that I've been meaning to do more of, but I haven't been like really scheduling myself very well. And this is an extended mailbag. You can always just jump into the Discord and like hang out with me while we do this. We've got our co-host Glycor Gamer. He's going to be famous one day. And
Okay. Not a co-host, but
he's a
yeah.
co-host now. It's official PUCL lore. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to read through some of the emails we couldn't get through this week on the show. This is really odd because the stream's happening before the show releases, which is tomorrow. But you should definitely just come hang out. We're going to read through these emails. We can talk about them, chit chat about the ideas. Trainer Nova wrote a very long one as per usual. That's just going to have a lot to read today. So Glycor Gamer is going to do all the commentary. That's what he said before this 100%.
Yeah, that's what I agreed to in my contract. Because contracts are totally legal here.
We don't even have a contract. There's no contracts where we're going. It's PUCL, man. All right. So on that note, let's get to it. Our first one, as I said, was from Trainer Nova. Hi, PUCL crew. Trainer Nova here to mention my very busy reading week and to talk more Pokemon stuff. Before I get into actually replying to the mailbag question, I wanted to reply to one of the last mailbag letters last week. Oh, that's why it's so long. This is okay. So I love you guys. But sometimes when you answer multiple mailbag questions, it makes your emails very long. You don't get read on the show this way. I too can attest to the perks of keeping a small team and developing a stronger attachment to them. While I like trying new bonds, I hate having to leave someone in the PC, so I do my best to limit my party to 6 so everyone's always involved. But this might be because I have a particular way I play Pokemon.
I mean, I personally usually use 6 Pokemon, but I like to keep my team kind of fluid. I start with a team, and then as I find a cooler Pokemon than the random Blitbug I found on the first route, that's when I switch it out for something better. But
you could say that half of my enjoyment of playing Pokemon is the game itself, and the other half is just making an entire story out of it. Every Pokemon I catch, or as I like to call it, recruit, isn't just pixels on a screen, but an entire character of themselves. They're 3D models now, not just pixels. I love discovering what their natures and characteristics are, or discovering a fun battle style, because I get to know their personality and start developing ideas for their backstory and how they might act. Things like double battles and Pokemon can't make me excited, because I can see team members interact with each other and imagine them becoming a full-fledged adventuring party. Playing through the game, recruiting members on a whim, and seeing RNG shenanigans and epic close calls is like seeing their stories unfold in real time, like a TTRPG.
So there's this thing called PTU.
It is PT. Well, okay, but that requires you can't play single player PTU. That's the difference, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know any PTU campaigns that is I don't know any PTU campaign that plays in normal Pokemon worlds. I know of a lot of PTU campaigns because just like there are a bajillion D&D podcasts, there are a bajillion PTU podcasts, and it's all the same. It's just here's something different, and it's just man, I just want a normal one. Just one normal one. That would be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. All right, let's keep going. Heck, I often end up mentally rewriting the main story and their characters for the fun of it and end up imagining some pretty wild stories. For example, a criminal group is running future cyberpunk Alola, meddling with the plots of a Senator Aether Foundation, or a D&D style adventuring party is exploring steampunk Galar and uncovering the lost secrets of controlling Dynamax, once thought to only be a divine gift before it falls into the wrong hands. Pretty self-indulgent and wild stuff, don't judge. At this point, I barely care if the actual story is bad because I'm practically experiencing two stories at the same time when I play a Pokemon game. It's a fun time. Anyways, after all this rambling, I'll keep my answer to the actual mailbag question short. Yep, starters are getting weirder by being more anthropomorphic. It's probably because more anthropomorphic starters as individual characters communicate personality more intensely than generic monsters. But yes, as entire species is unsettling, I should hate it. But at the end of the day, they're starter Pokemon, and they're designed to be cool, so love them a bit. Ironically, I must. It's the aforementioned tendency, anyways, that makes me overlook the fact that my beloved Italian is not a James Bond lizard, but is instead Rain, Galarian gentlewoman and squishy wizard lizard that uses particular elemental blasts at her attacks. Random food for thought. Every starter is someone's favorite Pokemon. That means someone's first Pokemon was like a Chikorita or a Tepig. That is true. That's absolutely true.
Okay, that's a lie. No, if your favorite Pokemon is Chikorita,
you
go get help.
You can like the onion. Also, food for thought. I don't think the Hisui starter should, let alone will, get regional evolutions. I absolutely agree with this take. However, it would be nice if they got some sort of new toy, like a signature move, item, hidden ability, or God forbid, a Mega Evolution to make them exciting and used again. Yeah, we're just like hoping for Megas to come back, and I don't know. I ended up not making the actual mailbag question short, but I hope you enjoyed reading it anyways. Thanks for being awesome, and enjoy pumpkin spice while you can. Trainer Nova. All right, next one is going to be from Farmer Fox. All right. Hey there, Puckle folks. It's Farmer Fox writing in again after a long time. First of all, I have got to say I have loved the new additions to the Puckle podcast. Oh, thank you for that follow, Games with DJ. And I assume that's DJ Lou. Now on to the mailbag question, or new additions to the podcast, both Mark on the main show and Shark on Battlecast. They seem to really gel well with everyone. There is a longer than there should be, like, vetting period sometimes. And it also, like, we also try not to, like, put too many people on the show at once, if that makes sense. So that's why we do that. But now on to the mailbag question. I can't just choose one starter as a favorite, so I'm going to say all the Johto starters. Good answer, good answer. Good answer. It feels like Family Feud, but that is the number one answer on the board. Firstly, we have a cute little pear thing that turns into a giant flower dinosaur, which in itself is pretty cool. Even though it has such a shallow move pool, even a tadpole couldn't swim in it. Next, we have a tiny little fiery and hidden Echidna. It's not the Echidna. It's literally just like a little mouse that becomes an angry volcano badger, which you just slap some specs on it and you keep clicking eruption. Last but certainly not least, we have a little happy little crocodile that will have a nibble on anyone that turns into a big bruiser alligator that will take a chomp on anything that moves. I love all three of the lines, and I only wish they had secondary typings. Meganium would have suited psychic types so much, as a lot of its dex entries are about calming others' emotions. Even though a lot of people have said Typhlosion should be dark type, I think it should have been ground as classification if it's literally the volcano Pokemon. You are not wrong.
Oh, someone else gets it.
Yeah. I would love to have seen for Alligator as a dragon type for no other reason than it would have been pretty cool. That's a good answer as well. See you on the flip-flop, Farmer Fox. Retro joined us, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, new co-host of the Focal Podcast, we've decided.
Great.
Says he doesn't want too many people on the show. Recruits 2 new co-hosts.
Oh, Wild Findabuzz appeared. Pokecatch. Pokecatch. Ultra Ball. I think that puts me in the running for it. Did that work? Oh, Games with DJ, you gotta do the thing first. I want the Mandibuzz. All right. So, moving on. This is Sleeve. Hi, Thatch, Sublime, and Whimsicott was not on this show. It ended up being a last-minute substitution with Jushiro. But thank you for checking the sheet. I hope you're all doing well. Sleeve here with some comments on starter Pokemon. My favorite, without a shadow of doubt, has to be Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is like the #1 answer, by the way, like throughout all of these years.
Really?
Yeah. Bulbasaur was the first starter I chose when I got Red version as a kid. The sprite of a leaping quadrupedal dinosaur with a giant seat on its back was too good to overlook, even when a fire lizard was an option. It was a very happy coincidence that he was super effective against the first 2 gyms while resisting the third, meaning that he played a vital role in my first ever squad. The stages of growth of the plant of the evolutionary line's back is another cool aspect of this Pokemon. There aren't many evolutionary lines that have the designs of the mons follow a logical progression. For example, Squirtle growing large ears, then losing them again doesn't make a ton of sense, whereas a seed growing into a bud, blooming into a flower does. Okay, the ears thing, like the feathers go away. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, you grow the feathers to, like, help grow the thing, and then they go away. It's helping grow the cannons. That's what I've decided. Bulbasaur's involvement in the anime also played a large role in my opinion of this Pokemon. The brooding, distrustful protector of the weak and injured Pokemon in the Sanctuary was a Pokemon that I immediately gravitated towards. The anime did a lot of good for Bulbasaur's brand image. If I hadn't already been convinced of Bulbasaur's superiority by this stage, my Gen 6 playthrough solidified that opinion. Upon checking the nature of Bulbasaur I picked at Professor Sycamore's lab, I noticed that he was a bit more green than your average Bulbasaur. A full-on shiny was just confirmed to me that Bulbasaur was the starter for me. The RNG had decreed it. This all goes without even mentioning Venusaur's incredible performance for me in PDL earlier in the year. Venusaur was a standout performer in an otherwise lacking squad. I don't think it's a coincidence that both in my heart and in the national decks, Bulbasaur is #1. That's a good pun. Anyway, that's probably enough Bulbasaur propaganda for one email. Thanks for continuing to put out such high-quality content, and I look forward to PUCL uploads every week. All the best, Sleeve. Oh, I caught it! I caught the Mandibuzz. Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Chat, let me catch it. Well, to be fair, multiple people can catch it. I threw an Ultra Ball, so that's probably why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This next one is from Cap'n Knuckles. Hey there, PUCL crew. Cap'n Knuckles writing in for the first time as I saw this as an easy topic to talk about for my very first email. Are we followed? Fisherman Gary, thanks for the follow. So I have 2 answers for this week's mailbag question. My favorite starter, and probably my favorite Pokemon, has to be Eevee, and this stems from the idea of the evolutions, which I've been a fan of since I first played Pokemon Blue. But if we weren't to count Eevee, I think it would have to be Cyndaquil. I remember playing Pokemon Silver when I was 11 and picking Cyndaquil because I thought he was adorable, and I vibed with the fire-type starters just growing up, and ended up picking him again just recently when I started replaying Pokemon Crystal. Also, shout out to playing Pokemon Crystal. So that's like the OG stuff to play. I just want to end with how much I appreciate the work and effort Thatch and the crew put into keep the show up and running. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up who were into Pokemon. While I would find some later in life, I really enjoyed finally feeling like I found my people. You're more than welcome, Knuckles. With that, I'll catch y'all later. Sincerely, Cap'n Knuckles.
I like how I said y'all.
Y'all. All right. This next one is from Big Cat Bruce. All right, here we go. What's new, PUCL crew? I do like What's new, PUCL crew. I like that one better.
Yeah, that one. That's a good.
What did
good
you, PUCL crew? Yeah. I hope you're doing well and enjoying all things Pokemon. I know it's cliche, but my favorite starter is my first starter, Typhlosion. It's like a type between Bulbasaur and Typhlosion. Pokemon Silver was my first game, and Cyndaquil was my first starter. He was the backbone of my team and helped my 12-year-old self become league champion and defeat Red. I know that Typhlosion has been surpassed by others due to power creep and better stat distribution, but I will always love it. Remember, its stat distribution is the exact same as Charizard's. Please remember this.
Yeah, Charizard just got 2 Megas, so...
Yeah, that's the only difference. Also, Charizard's worse because of the flying type, honestly.
Yeah, and I also feel like Typhlosion, if Typhlosion had gotten solar power, like
solar power is not that big. Solar power is not that big. I was also surprised when I saw it as a choice for Legends Arceus. Close second for an entirely different reason is Primarina. I used to live with a guy that I worked with, and we had similar interests, including both being Pokemon fans. Unfortunately, he hid how immature, misogynistic, and racist he was. Oh, wow. This took a dark turn. This is significant because he hated using female Pokemon and hated it even more when there were feminine starters. Right out of the gate, he dissed Primarina. So I bred him a perfect IV Modest Poplio for him to use on his playthrough team. After a couple of days of playing, he told me that he was wrong. He admitted that Primarina was the strongest member of his team and a big reason for why he was winning. While I couldn't fix his bigoted views, I at least got him to admit that Primarina was a powerhouse. Also, my wife had a baby a few weeks ago. Oh, congratulations.
Yay!
And I will certainly raise my son to be a big Pokemon fan. More importantly, a big PUCL fan. That's what he needs to work on. I'm curious to see what his first favorite starter will be. I hope you all have a great rest of their weekend and enjoy the spooky season. Big Cat Bruce. P.S. A quick pro tip for Pokemon Unite. If you're playing on Android and you don't mind answering surveys, you can sign up for Google Reviews. Filling these out is quick, and they give you money, like 10 to 50 cents per survey for your Google Play balance. You can use this money to buy gems in Pokemon Unite. While the gems don't transfer to the Switch, the stuff you buy does. It's a way to buy things, but they should still be free to play. That's actually really good. I used to do that when I had an Android for my for Pokemon Go.
I have an iPhone. I'm not.
Yeah, I have an iPhone now. I have an iPhone now. I had one, but my wife likes Apple, so we went with Apple. All right. This next one. What page are we on? 6. Okay. We're gonna take a 2-second break while I turn this light on because the lighting looks horrible and I want to fix it.
I know it's weird going from watching you stream, at like 6:37 every night to watching you stream in the middle of the day.
It's kind of part of it, but the other part of it, there wasn't enough light on my face because I didn't turn the light on in the back, and so I just did. Okay, so moving on, this next one is going to be from Trevster, who just talked in the chat, so that's nice. This will work out. All right, this one is going to be from Trevster. My favorite starter is Feraligatr. The reason why is because when Gen 2 came out of the 6 starters so far, Feraligatr seemed like the most scary and strong one. Typhlosion was really cool, but nothing beats Charizard's cool factor back in the 90s. Although these days, Charizard is pretty overhyped and overdone. I got home from work today, and my wife literally told me she's so sick of every PokeTuber talking about Charizard. When comparing how cool starters are, only Feraligatr beats its Gen 1 counterpart. That's kind of true. I remember when Gen 2 was leaking. I don't know how true a leak is when you're I think I was 9 when it happened. And it was because we were getting all the Japanese stuff before it had already released, and we were getting pictures of it in magazines and stuff. And I remember it was leaking, and so we actually thought that they had rotated the roles of the Pokemon, and their designs were just that's gonna be the water type Charizard, that's gonna be the fire type Venusaur, that's gonna be the grass type Charizard or whatever. And it was very weird for us to have done that in retrospect, but it was an interesting way. I still like the Gen 2 starters. I think they're the best out of any group of starters that only have monotypes at the final stage.
I think are they the only Gen 8 has
Gen 8 does it
monotype starters.
Yeah, I would say I think Gen 5's close. Because they were fighting to Emboar.
Because Emboar had to be firefighting.
Sublime's not here, so I can say that I think Gen 2 starters are better than Gen 5 starters.
I agree.
I'm really excited to see it in action when BDSP drops, and while I'm not exactly sure how it transfers to Swish and battles in BDSP will work, I'm sure there will be a meta that includes our crocodilian friend on Showdown, or at least a PUCL tournament. Speaking of starters in PUCL tournament, shout out to Cloud9 and P. McGee and whoever else is working behind the scenes for Battle Factory. They're doing a great job. Anyways, for Alligator's hidden ability, Sheer Force combined with Dragon Dance should make it as scary as it looks. I assume it will get Liquidation since Waterfall has been cut. Waterfall hasn't been cut.
Yeah, well, it's a TR instead of an HM.
Yeah,
you can get it out of the Watt Traders.
Yeah, Waterfall definitely exists because it has a really cool animation in Gen 8. Like it's one of the animations that made me go, "Oh wow, this is really cool."
Yeah, no, that it's neat. Better than the Gen 7, which was just like psh, and then it like comes out of the ground. It was like weird.
Yeah. Since Waterfall has been cut to combo with Sheer Force, and who knows what other moves they might give it as well. And I'm excited to see. I do love the extra work that goes into designing starters, but my hot take on starter Pokemon is that a bigger deal is made out of them than necessary. Correct. I would agree with that. In-game, they are said to be super rare Pokemon, and that's why they're special, but literally every player gets one. They're the first thing everyone breeds and trades around. It seems like with every passing generation, the starter Pokemon are overshadowing the rest of the Pokemon of the region. I think kind of. I kind of agree with this.
I think with Gen 8 and Gen some of these, it's that the starter Pokemon have been so good and competitive the last 3 generations that it's kind of like Rillaboom and Incineroar and Greninja are so good in like the competitive metas that you see them a lot.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like super upset about it. But yeah, I can totally get it. I think the internet's really the reason that ruined it. So, all right, continuing. I think I've gone on long enough, so I'll just say one more thing that you're. One last thing. The way that your starting Pokemon was handled in Mystery Dungeon was the best. You were given so many options, not just from traditional starters. You could be of a Chop, Cubone, or Skitty too. That's true. Thanks for the hard work by everyone on the PUCL crew. Trester, the late night legend.
Yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, and it's really fun.
Yeah, Super Mystery Dungeon's
fun.
Really it's like broken. Like that's like one of the bad ones.
Yeah, I've played it for like a while, a couple of times, but then I just like it's so much of the same thing over and over again that I've like multiple times just stopped playing because it's bored me.
I get it.
But I like being able to play as like Riolu and all of these fun Pokemon.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this next one from Ethan. He didn't actually give us a name. I just took a name. People do this a lot. Like when it's like their first email, I think they get very scared about emailing us, and so they'll forget to put their name at the end of the email. And so typically when they do that, we just grab their first name from like the email tag. So that's this one. So, hey y'all, I hope all is well. So I had an idea spark while listening to the podcast this week, and this idea came to be after Thatch discussed the potential of non-starters being starters, like Oddish and Poliwag. Anyway, let me blow your mind with this idea. I am not reading that. All of us have wanted to make our way into the forbidden area behind every daycare house, right? Well, let's say your starter is right there in the field of grass at the daycare of abandoned Pokemon. Lets you develop an attachment right away, and you have a defined single mom that wants you to have a friend of your own. So they take you to the daycare to get your first starter Pokemon. For example, if based in Hoenn, maybe you live in Mauville City, so it makes sense that you live right next to the daycare. I would love to say that Pokemon in the grass are capable of 3 stages, but it's one encounter only. 10 Pokemon with 10% odds each, when whatever you get is your starter. This would make for a very diverse and eventful playthroughs. I would say the likes of See Below covers about 2/3 of the type, maybe a 1% chance for Pseudo Legends. Let's not do Pseudo Legends, please. Also, I read this list and I take issues with this list. Ooh, Wild Stabilize appears. I'm gonna catch it. Sorry guys, Thatch is doing Pokecatch Great Ball. And all right. You might be out of balls.
I probably.
That is definitely possible. Also, you didn't spell catch right. But continuing. So
Quiet now.
the list that he gave, I have some issues with. Not because they're like completely bad, but because I think he puts Ralts and Flabebe in, which are like kind of the same thing. So maybe not.
Yeah,
So,
and also, like,
it's Ralts, Harsey, Mareep, Starly, Sandile, Litwick, Flabebe, Rhyhorn, Bonsweet, Trapinch. I think Trapinch shouldn't be there either. You also have Rhyhorn.
Yeah, I don't think you can have Rhyhorn there because it's a trade evolution.
And you also have Sandile there too. So like, there's just so many issues here. There's a lot of issues.
Moxie Sandile, early game.
The Pokeshop command. You do like Pokeshop. If you click like the little app thing, and well, I'll show you in a little bit. So, granted, I think there's some more balancing to do to make this make sense, but I really feel like this could be something awesome. Getting married in 3 weeks. We've been together 5 years. Congratulations. And awesome. I'm pretty sure I started listening to the show right before that via the TCG cast first. So shout out to Jushiro for plugging the main podcast. Thanks, Ethan. Oh, that was the last email. We're done.
Oh, that's one.
Yay! That has been the mailbag, extended mailbag. So maybe we keep doing things each week. I don't actually know how many people are watching right now, so we should totally do it.
Are you going to give out a Green Taurus badge this time?
No, this isn't the show. This segment's not brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Taurus, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
It gives you hooves.
This is from this is just like the extended mailbag brought to you by Thatch's Free Time. So if you want more of this, let us know.